Welcome, GMB pros. Welcome, everyone. We have our friend, I don't know what we call him, part of the family now, right? With Rhys here.
Hey
So
everybody.
today is a CTR. CTR. We did some setup last week, so we kind of want to show you. We did run into some hiccups, but we did see some improvements. So we'll run through that a little bit. Those that are catching the replay, thank you for your support. Thank you for hopping on. The Richards that are here today, appreciate you guys. Um, so if you have any question, any with CTR proxies, we're seeing some good stuff with the proxies. Those that don't know, I do
Blazing
offer.
fast now, man. Those proxies are fire. Those Pixie proxies. I'm loving them.
Yeah, and I have a few other people testing them, and I'm getting the same feedback. Um, I do have a sick little one at home, so I'm a little. I do reply the same day, but I'm having a little extra time in replying to people. Like somebody wanted instead of the HTTP, they wanted a sock setup. So I got that going for them. But overall, we're killing it. It's jamming, they're working, they're on point. So awesome with that. Any CTR issues? Riz, as you know, he has his own bot. We showed here a couple weeks a CTR booster, how to set it up. He went really into detail with that. So if you guys need help with CTR and you have the unlimited, or if you don't, either way, how to set it up, take a look at past videos. Riz, what's going on? What's the good word, my friend?
Alrighty, so some unfortunate news. I checked today in anticipation for some good improvements, and I saw that the proxies that I was using for the campaign were dead. I ran out of data. I was using geo-specific proxies to Australia, to the specific city, and my account ran out of credit, and things didn't run. So we did, let me share my screen. We have seen some sort of a little bit of stabilization, some things that are expected in the start of a campaign. This bar, get that out of the way. So, if we bring this up, can I hide that? This is annoying. Hide living meeting controls. So, if we take pool fencing, the general term, when we started, we were getting this sort of sporadic ranking, and it's something that I see quite a lot. I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. Just changing and moving around, like good signals showing that you're getting some ranks, but I don't know how these tools use the APIs from Google. So they pull the credentials from Google in like an API call. It doesn't actually go to Google and search. None of them do. It's just not efficient. You can't do it at scale. Um, so I don't really know why it happens. I every time you sort of run a scan, it shows up in different positions. So there must be something to it. I mean, if the results are true, then it shows that Google is testing you in a lot of different areas very quickly. So having some CTR campaigns in that, which shows some successful journeys of customers, is definitely going to help that. But nothing really sort of consistent. Every time you run a scan, you see it's in a different spot. If we then jump forward to this week, slightly less actual green dots, but you can see in the middle here, we're starting to stabilize. So we're starting to get a ring of top 20, not just a random one or a four or a seven popping in, but like what you would actually expect a geogrid to look like. Sort of a square around the business, starting to have positions. And if we go back 2 weeks ago, we didn't have any sort of consistent rank in the middle. So yes, there's areas saying that we were one, and I'm sure from the exact location, sometimes it would happen. But now, from the radius of the business is actually starting to be recognized and consistently be showing up in the top 20. So that's a really positive sign. Other terms for the term with the geo modifier, it's still jumping around, which is strange that we're pulling in better results for the main term, but you know, sometimes Google prioritizes the larger term compared to the term with the city. And then if we have a look at, we have 4 reviews now. So we've gone from 1 to 4. And if we actually search for the main keyword, and we use this app, this extension, which is Valentin. It's a extension where you can put in any city and country, and it changes the longitude and the latitude and spoofs the search from Google. It is called valentin.app, if anyone's interested. And if you scroll down to the more stuff, they got a bunch of stuff here you can have a look through. But they have a Google Chrome plugin. Where is it? So you can download that. The Firefox one doesn't work, but the Google Chrome one is fantastic. It's what I use. Really, really good. So anyway, we're in Brisbane and we're searching for primary keyword, which last time we were anywhere between 60 and 65 for the map pack. Going now, have a look. We are page 3 and here. So if we count backwards, 60, 59, 58, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 59, 49. So we've improved 10 positions so far. And really all that's changed, there were some CTR went through, like I think there was like 6 or 7 clicks throughout the 2 weeks, and the 3 reviews went up, and I think a couple of more pages on the website became indexed. Nothing was done to the website, but you know, as the campaign rolls out, things take time to start seeing effect. So consistent progress is always going to result in consistent improvements. And even if it's small things, like we had 3 reviews and really like a handful of CTR clicks, and we gained 10 positions. So this time we're going to do what we planned in the last session, and actually I'll use proxies that have credit and make sure they don't run out. And we will continue getting reviews as normal, and we should see further improvements again. I'm doing a press release as well. So just a standard one, nothing too special, just a cheap one. So I'm going to launch that out. So that'll probably take a few weeks to be published. So maybe April we'll have an update on that. But that's the next thing that I'm doing for the website. And that will help the maps. I'm going to put a link in the press release to the Google map listing to try and get some juice to that as well. And I'm also going to try and embed the Google map embed into the press release. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that will be the sort of next stages for the website.
Awesome, awesome. So guys, just these are just quick updates from what we set up last week. Like I mentioned earlier, we did run into a proxy issue with the credits, like Rhys says, but super excited. Just wanted to update you guys on a little bit on what it could do with just a little bit of traffic as far as the CTR, right? Very, very little, very basic on that.
And just to
Now,
recap, actually
go
setting
ahead.
up as well, we set up in case you missed last week, we set up a branded organic search to just search for the branded keywords. We set up a referral campaign where with CTR Booster, where we went in and we found URLs that have links to our websites. Maybe there were directories or citations or press releases or guest blogs. And then the bot searches on Google, finds that guest post, and then clicks on the internal link to your website. And we also set up a maps driving direction campaign where the bot searches, goes to Google Maps, finds the business, interacts, and then drives to the business with the driving directions. So we set all those different campaigns up, and now we're gonna wait and see for the results.
Cool. Any particular questions, any of the Richards you guys may have that we can answer for you guys? As far as setup, as far as proxies.
So yeah, I caught the replay. And it's been a little while ago, but and I've never done this. So the proxies, right? The Pixie proxies, like if I was targeting a business in Atlanta, I could get a Pixie proxy to target specifically for Atlanta, correct?
Yeah, what that run, what that would look like is kind of like what Rhys just showed. You can use, it's a mobile proxy, right? So you can use that proxy, and then in between that, you would change your location. That's why on most CTR bots, it'll give the like center location, and then you could it'll spoof the location and then do its thing.
So, Riz, would you, in your experience, I mean, when you're doing these campaigns, would you recommend like a combination of mobile and residential proxies? Do you ever do that, or is there a
I think the mobile proxies are the best,
okay?
but it's better to have country specific. So like my campaigns are in Australia, and obviously the Pixie proxies are American. So having that discrepancy, it it depends on the device as well. Like if it's a mobile phone that's being used, I've found it's more trusted just having a 4G proxy because Google knows it's a phone and it's very hard to fake a phone, and there's a lot more trust having that Android or having that iOS in the operating system as opposed to just having like a mobile features. Like most of the bots that exist are a desktop application that looks like a mobile, that behaves like a mobile because of the screen size and the user agent and things like that. So if you're on a real mobile, just have any 4G proxy, it's fine. But if you're using bots that don't use a real mobile device, then you're better off having country or location specific. Because in that search console data, that's all going to come up as the IP address, like country wise. So if the country's good, then it spoofs the location to the city, that's fine. But I wouldn't be using a 4G proxy from America for a United Kingdom campaign, for instance, unless it was on like a mobile.
Okay. All right, as you know, because I had heard both about like some people say use mobile, and some people just kind of like from previous YouTube videos, some people were talking about residential, and I wasn't sure if there was like a mixture, if you wanted to mix it up, or if one was best over the other. So, anyways,
They all have
just
different use cases. Like
yeah,
the residential proxies, some of them are good because you can get a large pool of IPs, so you can rotate quickly if you're doing like high volume things where you want to have a unique IP address every time, then you could get 100 ports from a provider, and then every time you run something, it's unique. Whereas with the 4G proxy, obviously they're expensive and you pay per proxy. So to have 100 threads running at once, well, you need 100 proxies, or you're going to have multiple threads running on the same proxy. So we use both. I do use both. I think ideally, like the best is a mobile proxy in your city. That's like saying the best. I mean, the best is not really feasible in most cases in SEO, unfortunately. So we kind of go back and find a middle ground.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for the questions.
Rob, I know you just hopped on. We just gave a quick little update, or Rick, if you guys have any specific questions that you guys want us to go over with CTR or proxies. Hey, Riz, speaking of reviews, are you seeing, I had I left a review on another colleague, and on his stuff, Google is replying for him, or he doesn't know who's replying. Somebody's replying to his reviews. Have you noticed anything on the replying of the review?
No, never.
Yes, sir. I haven't heard that either.
Check that there's no old managers in there, because that's the only thing I can think of.
Okay, yeah.
Like
That was
any
odd.
managers that have access to the account, or any APIs, like local Viking, any GMB management tools that have an API, they'd have access.
Yeah,
So
I'll have to
maybe,
double check with them and see. That's what I'm thinking. He had to connect it to some type of like a rep management type of software.
yeah, well, is it like generic message? Like, could it be some like automation?
I mean, he showed me, I saw, because I left him a review. I saw the reply, and it doesn't scream AI for sure. This kind of normal, clean
Uh,
response.
I mean, I haven't had anyone question anything like that to me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because he hit me up a couple times now, and I left him a review and the same thing. He's like, "Look, I'm not replying to this. Somebody's replying to this. It's not me." And I
Yeah,
don't
really,
think he has anybody in the account.
that's weird.
Let's see. Rick had the same issue and discovered it was connected to Go High Level. It's funny you say that because he does have Go High Level.
Nice.
Okay,
That's
I
nugget
haven't
of the
looked
day.
into that. Yeah, he does use Go High Level. All right, cool. I'm glad I asked it. I'm glad. Yeah, and it is pretty. It's kind of cool. It responds fairly quickly, and it does not scream AI. It's a decent. Completed the sub account and then set back up. And it went away, Rick, after you just disconnected and connected it, and no more replying. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, I'll let him know. That's kind of funny.
Great. When it's like complicated, some things like this just happen, and
Yeah, I
no idea what
figured it had to do with something he was connected with from the outside.
yeah, well, if it doesn't sound like AI, they're doing a good job, because it probably is.
Yeah, no, it was kind of clean. It was good, right? Like,
Nice.
yeah. So I'll let him know. David, review still. How you doing with your reviews, Riz?
Yeah, everything's going well.
Yeah, awesome. All right, guys. If we don't have any other question, we're gonna go ahead and call it. We're gonna let this run set up correctly for a couple more weeks. Anything else you wanted to share, Riz? I didn't want to cut you off early either.
Oh, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I'm using Karen for CTR cracking, but I don't think among proxies do you suggest a service? Um, so I used Kraken before. Can you input your own proxies in there, Rick? Is any issues reviews hitting? No, you can't. Does it? How do you do your reviews? Answering Rob's question there, Riz. I used to hide mine when I did
Uh,
it.
any issues with reviewers hiding their history? I don't think so.
The
I don't
the
think that's
profile.
it's a bit of a footprint, but I wouldn't. Um, I
I think
would.
the ultimate goal is sticking or not, right?
Yeah,
I think that's the, as far as um Rob, if they're sticking, whoever your vendor, if you're doing it, if they're sticking, yeah. When mine were sticking, I don't offer it anymore. I use vendors. I'm about to use Riz here soon. They are getting more expensive for sure. My vendors, I need to restart. Yeah, absolutely. When I was doing it, I would hide mine too, because you get some people that are anal about it. They don't just look at, is it sticking? They actually want like a proper name, which I don't blame them on that. And then like the history of it is, are they all over the place? So I would just hide that so that the clients wouldn't ask. But the bottom line is the sticking, and that's what I would go with. Um, Rick, as far as the CTR, I don't think it's on mobile proxy. Do you suggest any service? I do it. Riz does it. If you want to try any of our services, um, you know, all my stuff 100%. My proxies are mobile. I don't use any residential. And then I focus on the GMB, and there is also like CTR booster that we can set up for you for different URLs. Riz is great at driving directions. His does everything I do. Wherever you feel comfortable as an alternative, you can go that route.
yeah, plenty of options. Just sort of
Yeah.
depending on what fits your requirements, really. If you're looking for driving directions specifically, we have a tool that does the driving directions where it actually like opens the phones and changes the location and drives to the business. Um, it's not cheap, but it's a lot of resources used, and it actually takes the journey on the road and drives with the traffic, and it's the only tool that I've seen that actually does that specific feature. Some of them click the button, but none of them actually drive. Everything's Android. It's all everything's on the Android system. Nothing's sort of spoofed to look like a mobile, like the actual mobiles.
Yep.
Yeah. What you're looking for, then reach out definitely.
It's definitely a good thing, or worth it depends on your time, right? Because when I was doing it, man, it's when Riz says it's resources, it's a lot of resources. Um, because it does do that whole driving directions. You gotta wait for it. So, and it does do that positive signal to Google.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's good. A lot of people are scared of like overcooking it as well, like sending too many driving directions, but I've never seen that be negative. Like it's a conversion action. It's if Google trusts the traffic, they trust the click. Like I ran hundreds a day when we were testing it and never saw it drop.
so guys, with that being said, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Let me take a look at the calendar. Let me tell you guys what is coming for tomorrow. Um, I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow, to be honest. Let me see. It's a mindset, kind of help you grow your agency. Uh, I'm pretty excited for tomorrow's. It's with Michael. He'll be here. So tomorrow I look forward to that. Come by, kind of help you with your mindset and growing your agency. I'm actually pretty excited with that. Guys, with that being said, I appreciate everyone's support, those that are catching the replay. And again, much love, much success, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Okay.